Well, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Wesley Smith with Tree Service Digital. We're going to be going over today one of the largest components of your online marketing service channel that you need to be focused on. It's one of the most important ones because you can kind of cover a huge geographical area with your pay-per-click ads. And maybe you've tried this in the past and it didn't work as well as you had planned, or try to do it yourself. There's a lot to pay-per-click marketing for the tree service niche. So we're going to get into that today, how that looks. We're not going to get too far down in the weeds, but maybe about halfway knee deep in the weeds to kind of show you what it looks like to have like perfect ad copy, what negative keywords to avoid, and different things like that to help your campaigns run much smoother. So I'll go ahead and share my screen with you, and that way we can start looking at the slides. Let's see. All right, let's see here. Sometimes what happens is the slides don't show up on the screen share. Can you guys just pop in the chat, just maybe a thumbs up or a yes, we can see the slides just before I get started so it doesn't kind of ghost you guys on there. See if we got the chat box window open. Okay. Yes, good deal. Okay. So what we're going to go over today is how to maximize your inbound lead flow with PPC and Google Ads. And it's a very important strategy if you want to cover a large market, large broad radius. If you're in a major metro area, most people service, 20 to 30, 40-mile radius, depending on how rural or how urban your landscape is in your city. So this is very important to, getting the leads coming in that you want to see. And this kind of goes into the overall digital dominance method that we go through with our clients. And so number one is usually your website and your SEO, because without your hub, without your main website and your search engine optimization, it's going to be tough for you to kind of get a presence in the local market. This helps because everybody ends up there and kind of looks you up, maybe looks at your about page, different things like that. Number two is your pay-per-click marketing. So that really enhances your inbound lead flow from very motivated callers who are looking to get tree work done like right away, or at least get estimates to kind of gather some pricing. And then the next thing is going to be retargeting. So if you're getting a large amount of web traffic, you want to make sure you can retarget and recapture some of those people that end up off of your website and get them back into your wheelhouse to talk to them about tree work. You got number four, paid online directories. Number five, repeat and referral business from email marketing. You've got Home Advisor for pay per lead. Thumbtack, different places like that. You've got social media advertising you can do, and a referral program to your current customers. So if you, got a big email database or a way that you can communicate with your customers, good idea is to pay them for a referral or send them a gift card or send them tickets to the football game. Things like that really work well. So if you want to learn how to really maximize your lead flow, let's pay attention today about some of the different things we're going to show you, because those are going to help you make more money in your local market. So if you turn off your cell phones, which I actually remembered to do today, I got it on vibrate so I don't hear it. And then Facebook, if you're serious about doubling or tripling the leads that you pull from your Google Ads for tree service, then the next 20 to 30 minutes are critical for you and your business. So what we're going to cover today is why PPC is key to unlimited scalability in terms of lead flow for your tree service business. Live examples of PPC campaigns generating 5 to 15 times return on investment for other tree service companies. And it depends on your market too. If you're in a rural market, your lead flow is going to be significantly less unless you're willing to travel a larger area. So we'll go through some of these case studies today and how to set up and structure your pay-per-click marketing campaign for minimum cost per lead and maximum return on investment. The KPIs, which are the key performance indicators, tracking, landing page examples, and campaign structure, all will be covered today on this webinar. And so you may be asking yourself, why the internet? Why should I be so concerned with people searching on the internet for tree service? Well, over the last 10 to 15 years, even though the internet's been around much longer than that, people are more trained now to go to the internet to search for local services. So tree service is no different. So there's been a massive transition from offline to online. And I will say that some direct mail campaigns and signs and stuff like that do work, but online is where you're going to find the motivation, the motivated callers, because they're looking up to get the work done right that minute, and your ad's there, so they click and then they give you a call. Statistics tell us that more than 77% of consumers go online when looking for tree services. So that's big. You want to make sure you're in front of those people when they need you the most. There are over 10 million searches every month for tree service and removal services. We got that right from Google Keyword Planner. So 10 million searches per month. So in your little small area of the world on the internet, there's a large number of searches every single day. Typically anywhere from 100 to 1,000 searches per day in any major market. So all you got to do is get a few leads, handful of leads per day, and you're going to be profitable with your pay-per-click campaign. And there's tons and tons of different tools you can use to kind of look that up. But your local market, there's typically going to be enough to where you can get some lead flow. Who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Wesley Smith, and I've been in internet marketing space for close to 10 years now with my own businesses in the past and now with Tree Service Digital. We specialize in tree service contractor marketing. So we know exactly what works. We know what works in the tree contractor, tree service niche for arborist, for tree health, tree service, tree trimming, tree pruning, and those types of searches. And I'm also the author of a newly published book. This thing took a while to get into Amazon and publish, but it's How to Win with Internet Marketing for Tree Service Contractors. So it's on Amazon as an ebook. I think it's only like $1 or $2 on Amazon, the e-copy. Or if you'd like a copy of this, we'll be happy to mail it to you in the mail with our tree service box that we send you. Just let me know after the webinar or pop it in the chat or anything like that, or shoot me an email. We'll be happy to send out a free copy to you. We worked with dozens of tree service contractors across the US, and we know what works to generate a flood of new business for you. So this is all going to help you increase your sales, enhance your online reputation, because we do focus on Google reviews as well. That really helps you kind of convert more of these people that find you, drive more calls, leads, and profits into your business, and increase repeat and referral business is what all of this does to help you. So you may be asking yourself, should pay-per-click be part of my overall internet marketing strategy? We've got a lot of business, but we do have some gaps in our lead flow, and we get slow for a few weeks, and then we get busy for a month, and different things like that. So pay-per-click marketing, that's really the beauty of it, is that you can customize it. You can kind of, lower the budget when you've got plenty of work. You can raise the budget when you need more work, and stuff like that. So it really is a good solution to make the phone ring and to get incoming leads of people that are looking for tree service. And for the maximum flow of calls, leads, and profitability in your tree service business. So it's definitely really important and high on the digital dominance method that we talk about with our customers and clients, because you want maximum number of calls coming in. And so your website and your SEO is number one, and the PPC campaign is definitely a close second. I really wouldn't say that one's more important than the other, but you definitely need a website, and you want to get your Google map listing optimized and all that stuff for your SEO. But the pay-per-click campaign definitely brings in calls, and it's another part of the marketing wheel that you don't want to avoid or not do. And so why PPC should be a part of your internet marketing strategy, from our perspective, is you start showing up very quickly in the search results in your local market. So pretty much as soon as you fire these campaigns up, your ads are right there at the top of the page when somebody does a local search for tree service near me, or tree service your city, like Tree Service Chicago or Tree Service Dallas. Your ad's going to be right there, right? And they're going to have an opportunity to click on it, and your landing page and everything else better be pretty good so you get that call. And you show up as often as possible where your customers are looking when they need you the most. And you can also show up for non-geo-modified terms like tree service, tree trimming, tree pruning, tree removal. They don't even have to type in the city name, right? Whereas your website with the search engine optimization, most of the time they need to type in the city, like Tree Service Dallas, if you're ranked for Tree Service Dallas, and you'll get that lead with your website or your Google map listing. But if they simply just type in tree service, a lot of times you won't show up for that organically. So this ad is a solution to have that at the very top of the page. If you're covering a large, metro area, somebody just types in a really key, just a very easy phrase like tree service or tree trimming. They don't put anything after it. Your ad will still show up right there. So that's very, very valuable. And there's unlimited scalability with it. As long as the population is there, then it's unlimited scalability. You can go from 20 leads a month to 100 leads a month with Google pay-per-click marketing, so long as you cover a large area and the population is there. This is what we see why most PPC campaigns fail. And the reason behind that is because a lot of people just fail to understand the AdWords auction process and the complexity of the tree service keywords. There's a lot of negative keywords that you don't want to show up for either when somebody types something in, like tree service jobs, tree service crane rental, tree service saw, or something like that. You don't want to show up for that. So there's a big, huge, vast list of negative keywords that we pop into the campaign so that you don't get those bad budget clicks. You don't want those clicks. They're not looking to hire somebody. So it's very complex in that regard. And most people only set up one ad group for all services they provide. And that's a big mistake with pay-per-click marketing. And Google even says so in their terms and conditions and how to optimize for it. So if somebody types in tree service, they're looking for tree service. If somebody types in tree trimming, they're looking for tree trimming. If somebody types in tree removal, they're looking for tree removal. And so your ad needs to kind of mirror what they just typed in, and it's going to convert way better, like 5, 6, 8 to 1 over just one ad group that has like XYZ tree service, call now. If you just have your business name in that ad copy and you don't have the keyword in the ad copy that they just typed in, it's not going to convert half as good. You're not going to get as many clicks, and they're going to go to your competitors' ads. And then they don't use specific text ads and landing pages for groups of keywords. So it's very important. It's kind of basically what I was just talking about. Like somebody types in tree trimming, you want an ad that says, tree trimming service, and then XYZ tree service, or tree trimming service, and then call now for a free estimate, or tree trimming service, free estimates, best prices. And we'll show you some ad copy examples in a minute, but you want exactly what they typed in to trigger the ad that you've got to match that search term keyword that they just typed in. And there's no strong call to action or offer on the landing page. So a lot of people's campaigns, maybe their ad copy is pretty good, but then when they click on the ad and they land on the page that the ad goes to, it doesn't really ask them to give them a call. It doesn't ask them to put their information in for a free estimate. And so you're going to lose a lot of people because they just want a quick solution to why they did the search. And so if you've got get a free estimate now, well, that's exactly what they're looking for, right? They're looking for an estimate. That's why they did the search for tree removal or tree trimming. And so you got to have a get a free estimate form right at the top of the page, and then a click to call button in several spots so that it's easy for them on a mobile device to just click it with their thumb and generate a call to your office. And then boom, you've got yourself an appointment for a $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 job. Who knows what that could be? Even if it's tree trimming or anything, those all add up. So you want to make sure they can reach you very, very easily once they get on the page. And so here's kind of a visual of that. So you can see some people, a lot of people type in tree trimming, they'll type in tree removal, they'll type in tree pruning, stump removal, land clearing. You can see all these services are slightly different, right? Like they're not the same. And some people wouldn't even think that your company may do all of these different services. So if all you have is one ad group for your campaign that says XYZ tree service, call now for an estimate, or XYZ land solutions, or whatever your business name is, call now, or get a quote today, that's great, but they're looking for tree pruning or tree removal specifically. So we want to make sure we have an ad group for the tree trimming searches. We have a separate ad group for the tree removal searches. And inside those ad groups, we're going to have various ad copy and different variations of the same ad so that we figure out which one converts the best. And that's important because after a month or two, we've got a lot of data and we can turn off the ad groups that are not performing the way that we want them to. They're too high cost per lead. So it just all takes setup. It's got to be set up very meticulously. And if it is, it's going to run night and day better than everybody else's campaign. But you can just see like all these are different services. And so if you only have one ad group with one different ad, you're not going to convert very well. And so here's the example of a landing page. One of the most important things about a paid ad campaign, because literally you've only got that searcher's, you've only got their attention for like 4 or 5 seconds. So one, you want to make sure this page loads really, really fast. So if somebody clicks on this website, you don't want it to sit there and just spin and spin and spin and spin and spin for 3 or 4 seconds. You've already lost 50% of the people that have clicked on your ad. They're just going to hit the back button, go back, and then click on somebody else's. Everybody's got attention deficit disorder when it comes to clicking on people's websites. I know sometimes I do that too. You just hit the back button. If it takes too long to load, you think this is never going to load. So number one, make sure the page loads really, really fast. Number two is you want it to go to a dedicated landing page just for that paid ad campaign. So you don't want to drive all of these clicks from Google AdWords to your main website, to the home page of your website. So that's the biggest mistake we see most people make, is they're doing their ads just because whoever their vendor is or their marketing company is, they didn't bother to build out a separate landing page for the Google traffic, the ads traffic. And it's a big mistake, because statistics prove that a one-page landing page built very well converts 3 to 1 over the home page of a client's website. I'll repeat that. So a one-page landing page converts 3 to 1 over a home page of a website for paid ads. And the reason for that is on your main website, there's so many different pages and buttons and different things that you have to click on and look for. There's a lot of rabbit holes that you're going to go down. You're going to kind of forget why you were there, maybe lose interest and hit the back button. With a landing page, on the other hand, there's only one page, right? And the only thing this landing page is asking someone to do is to click to call or request a free estimate. That's it, right? And they're going to have a bunch of different conversion elements on here, like testimonials from clients, your association badges like TCIA, ISA, good pictures of you guys doing trimming and removal, maybe a video of you guys in action. And then we're going to ask them again, request a free estimate or click to call now. So that's going to be really, really beneficial, is to have your traffic separated and have all the paid traffic going to a one-page landing page. I can't stress that enough. That's humongous for conversions and making sure you get the amount of leads you want to get from your budget. So a quick case study is we have a client, they're in a population of about 250,000. And so it's a metro area. It's not like a primary metro area like Chicago or Los Angeles or Houston, but it's kind of like a secondary city type market. So 250,000 with the whole radius around. So we did a case study of one of their months, and the number of leads that they got from the campaign was 47 leads, and their conversion rate's about a third on these paid ads. And that's just right up front. Some of these people come back in a month, 2 months later with the estimate, and they call and they get the work done then. But just up front on the front end, after getting the call in, booking the appointment, giving them the estimate, they book about a third of all the leads. And so that's 16 booked jobs in 1 month. Their average ticket is $750. And keep in mind, some people's average ticket is $1,000. Some people's is $900. Some people's is $500. Because you're going to get some for $3 or $4 grand. You're going to get some for $300. You're going to get some for $800. But if your average ticket $750 and they booked 16 jobs, that was around $12,000 in revenue. So that's 6 times the ad spend of $2,000 in that month for the Google budget. So there's some, a couple of little things in there too. But if you spend $2,000 with Google and you end up getting, $12,000 in business, that's pretty good. And some months are going to be better than that. Some months could be slightly lower than that, depending on the season and different things like that. But you can see, just consistent lead flow, just continually talking to new customers and new homeowners, and also putting each new lead into your database. If you're using Jobber or Arbor Gold or any of these other CRMs, you're going to develop a huge client base over the months and years, and it's just going to continue to get better and better. So we're going to show you how to set up and structure your pay-per-click marketing campaign for minimum cost per lead and maximum return on investment. So let's look and see if we've got any, let's see here. Let's see, any questions there? Okay, looks like we're good with the questions. Had a couple of comments there. And Sam, I'll certainly get with you after the webinar there. And let's see, so here's how to structure your pay-per-click campaign. Conversion tracking is a must. So inside your Google Ads campaign, you can set it up to where you're actually tracking each one of the leads. So that's the calls that come from your landing page or your Google Ads campaign, or it's when somebody fills out the get a free estimate form. So you want to make sure you know how many of those conversions are coming from the Google paid ads campaign. So your campaign must be broken into smaller ad groups targeting the various services that you provide so that your text ads match what the person typed in. And make sure you have a strong understanding of keyword match types, and don't forget about negative keywords like I was talking about earlier. So many people type in a specific tree company business. Let's say they type in Aardvark Tree Service. And Aardvark Tree Service is a big, huge competitor in your market. And they type in Aardvark Tree Service, but since you're not putting Aardvark in as a negative keyword in your campaign, you continually keep getting wrong number calls for that search. it's just disappointing. It's blowing your budget. And so you want to put aardvark as a negative keyword so that when somebody searches for aardvark tree service, you're not getting that wrong number call. That can cause a lot of frustration. So just little things like that. You need to write compelling text ads that resonate with what the customer typed and entice them to click on you versus the competition. $200 online offer, that's a pretty good one. Or free estimate, best prices, call now. So leverage ad extensions to make your ads stand out on the page. So whenever you're creating your ads, instead of just having the description right there, you can actually add extensions to kind of fatten up and beefing up your ad a little bit so that when it shows up at the top of the page, it's thicker and larger than your competitors' ads. And some of the competitors are doing it too, but a lot of people are not. So you want to add all the extensions that you can, like the services catalog. You want to add your call extensions, your call out extensions, your address map extension. That's a good one too. You have to land visitors on a solid, well thought out page on your website that's built to convert. So that's what we were talking about. Just a one-page landing page does the job very well. Ongoing split testing, tweaking, and fine tuning. So this is a management process, ongoing. You don't want to just set it up and then hope you start getting calls, right? Because it ebbs and flows with how many people are actually paying for those keywords in the market, how many people are advertising. And in addition to that, there's a lot of negative keywords that you got to continue to weed out so that you don't continue to get those clicks over and over and over again that are wasting your budget. So don't even think about spending another penny until you have conversion tracking in place for your ad accounts. And conversion tracking is just crucial. Google gives you the conversion codes. You got to pop them on the right pages on your website so that you know when you got a lead and how many leads you got for your budget. Conversion tracking essentials. So dynamic number swapping with different phone number for PPC traffic versus organic or direct traffic. That way you know that, hey, this phone call came from the paid ad campaign. Because if you don't know what to do more of, if that makes sense. You want to make sure you know where these calls are coming from. A keyword pool with dynamic number swapping so that you can track phone calls back to the keyword and the campaign that generated the call. You want web form tracking. So if they fill out the get a free estimate form or your contact form, it needs to redirect to a thank you page, and that thank you page will have the conversion code on it, and it'll track that lead inside Google AdWords. Conversion tracking built into your AdWords campaign to determine which ad group generated the lead. That way you kind of know where it came from. Was it the tree trimming one? Was it the tree removal ad group, etc.? So here are the most important KPIs for your campaign, and it's going to depend on the market. So we put some rough numbers here, but it's going to depend on your local market. And again, it goes back to how many people are paying for those keywords, how many people are doing ads in your area. The total spend is a very important KPI because you want to know how much you spent overall just with Google budget, not on your SEO or the management fee to take care of all this, but your actual Google budget part. You want to know how much you spent there. And they typically bill you in $500 increments, so it's not usually hard to tell. You just look on your credit card and find the $500 charges every couple of weeks or whatever that is. You want to know the average cost per click. So that is, how much it's costing for people to see your ad and then click on it, right? That's cost per click. Average cost per lead. So that's how many calls and web forms you got for the month. So, you want to track that and see, it's when somebody actually fills out the form and you get that lead, or somebody actually calls and they want an appointment. So it usually takes a few clicks to get each lead because not every click is going to be a lead. You can get pretty close to that though. If you have a really high performing campaign and a very good landing page, you can start getting more leads for less clicks. Tree trimming and tree pruning are typically $30 to $45 per lead, just depending on the local area and the market. These are rough numbers that we see, and this actually varies during different seasons of the year as well. It's not just a blanket per lead cost. And then you've got tree removal, which is $55 to $70 per lead. But if you compare that with Home Advisor or Thumbtack, they're charging roughly the same dollars for that lead, but they're giving it to 5 other people at the same time you get it. So these are inbound exclusive leads for you. It doesn't mean they didn't go on somebody else's website and call them too, but it just means that you're getting the lead directly from that homeowner or from that business owner, and you're on the phone with them where you can actually build that relationship or talk to them, build that rapport in order to get there for the appointment. And then you want to know what your return on investment was. Like, how many booked jobs did I do off of the amount of leads I got, and then divide that by how much you spent, and that'll get you, or actually you take the amount that you spent for the month divide that by how many booked jobs you got, and then that'll be kind of your cost, your average ticket right there. And you can see kind of what your per lead cost is from there. And your per lead cost is usually generated inside AdWords already. So it's best to have detailed reporting on this, because you're not really going to just want to pop into your ad campaign all the time and try to, go down all these rabbit holes to find this data. It's kind of tough to find if you don't really go in there every single day. So you want to make sure that your reporting puts all of that into the report accurately for you, so you can see it, and you can see. So we send a report every 2 weeks, because people want to know kind of what they've been spending and how many leads and calls they got and everything else. So it has kind of how many conversions you got, your cost per click, kind of the positioning of your ads on the first page, how many campaigns, who converted the best, male, female, unknown. It has all this different data in there for you. And then we plug in your phone call data too, to show you how many phone calls came through that tracking number. So this is how to structure your PPC campaign correctly, so that you maximize the amount of leads you get from the clicks. So your campaign must be broken down into smaller ad groups targeting the various services that you provide, so that your text ads match what the person actually typed in. So again, we'll go back to this again. It's so important though, and we just see this being done wrong all the time. Pretty much every time we get a new client monthly, we see that their ad campaigns they currently have are just not running efficiently. And this is why. So if you have a tree trimming ad group, somebody in the area types in tree trimming. You want your ad to say tree trimming company or tree trimming service. Call now for a free estimate, right? That solves their problem. It's exactly what they typed in. They're thinking in their head, I need to get these trees trimmed. I got a branch hanging over my tree, whatever the case, or a branch hanging over my house, whatever the case may be, they're looking for tree trimming. So we don't just want one ad that says XYZ tree service at the top. We want to say tree trimming company, because they may think that you specialize in tree trimming, and therefore they should call you over the other ads they see. So make sure you have that keyword in the headline. Same thing goes for tree removal or tree cutting. So tree removal, somebody types in tree removal, you want your ad to say tree removal service, or #1 tree removal service. We like to use that #1, or top tree removal service, best tree removal service, and then call now for a free estimate. And that way it solves their issue of what they're looking to get done. So they type tree removal, we want tree removal in the headline. Same thing for tree cutting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, for everything. Land clearing, stump removal, if you want to do that. And you want to get even more specific and granular for the city keywords. So we go even further with it. So if somebody types in tree service city, the city they're located in, because they're looking for a tree contractor in that city. For example, here, tree service DeLand, Florida. All right, so we've got an ad that says #1 rated tree service DeLand. Call for a free quote today. And we've got these ad extensions that kind of make it a little bit wider, going down the page when you search, and that makes it stand out more and get more clicks. There's a whole science behind this thing, getting more clicks and how to get more people to kind of focus on yours versus the other 3 at the top. But you see it solves their issue. They typed in tree service DeLand, Florida. I'm looking for somebody local. I'm in DeLand. I want to find a tree service in DeLand, Florida. Now you may not be in DeLand, Florida. You may be 20 minutes away. But since the ad headline says tree service DeLand, Florida, they think that you're local and they're going to call, right? It just makes you get more clicks with the same amount of searches. And that's going to help your click-through rate, which lowers your cost per click with Google, lowers your cost per lead, because they think that your ads are solving more people's problems, so they're going to show it more often for less money. So it's better to make sure you get really granular with that keyword in the headlines there. So keyword types matter too. Usually we start off with these broad match ones, which is the plus tree, plus service, plus tree, plus removal. And that way, anything somebody types in, you'll end up scooping up that click. And then we gather a bunch of data and then turn these off, because these cost the most amount of money, the modified broad match. But it opens up your campaign where if somebody types in, tree service work near me, your ad will still show up because you're bidding on tree plus service. Whereas if you're in this exact match category, the only thing your ad would show up for is if somebody types exactly tree service or exactly tree removal or exactly tree cutting. This is more broad and it'll show to more people, but you got to be careful because you'll spend more money on these clicks. So you got to shut them off at some point down the road. Usually we do that maybe 60 to 90 days down the road after we've collected enough data of the different types of searches people are doing. and we go ahead and put those in the phrase and exact match category, and then we just turn off the broad because we don't want to keep paying for too many of those searches that just aren't totally relevant. They're kind of relevant, but not totally relevant. So the phrase match is the same thing, but it's like, you know, you're bidding on tree service, and if somebody types something after service, it'll still trigger your ad too. So that's why a lot of times you get those competitor clicks. Johnny's tree service, Bob's tree service, Jim's tree service. You'll end up showing up for those if you're only bidding on the word tree service, right? So you want to add all your competitors' names in that negative keyword list so that when somebody types their name in, you don't show up for it. Now, there are certain circumstances where you do want to bid on your competitors. Like if you've got a humongous tree company in the area, and they have like billboards and TV commercials and all that stuff, they're getting a ton of searches. You might want to bid on that one and just pay like $1 or $2 for those clicks because, hey, you know, somebody may call you and you say, well, you know, we're not so-and-so tree service, but we can still help you. There's a way to pivot those calls and still get an appointment out of it. But we can talk about that later. But sometimes it's beneficial if that's a huge company and they get a bunch of search traffic, you can bid on their name too. But watch out for the negative keywords. Competitor search clicks will totally kill your budget. And that's what I was saying before. Jim's tree service, Gary's tree service, etc. And they're clicking on your ad and calling, and you may be going, why am I constantly getting all these wrong number calls? Well, it's because nobody's managing your negative keywords and eliminating your competitors out of your negative keyword list so you don't show up for those searches. It's big. I mean, that could be a third of your budget. If you're spending, you know, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 with Google, that could be $1,000 you're spending on competitor clicks that you don't want. Same thing with jobs. Like you want to put jobs in there as a negative keyword, careers, you know, tree service careers, you know, things like that. People type in, they're not looking to hire a tree service company. So you don't really want to show up for that search. You know, and if you are trying to hire, then you don't want them going to your main tree service page anyway if you're running an ad. So you would turn off these and make sure those are, you know, tree service rentals, tree service associations, Dollar Tree. There's so many of them. I mean, I'd have a list that was, you know, a mile long here, but you want to make sure those negative keywords are managed properly in your account because you only want to show up for exactly what you want to get a call for, right? That's it. You need to write compelling text ads that resonate with what the customer typed and entices them to click on you versus the competition. So here, in this case, less is more. You know, you want to just offer them something real quick to click on your ad. That's it. Tell them exactly what you want them to do. If you have, you know, call now for a free estimate, that's telling them exactly what you want them to do. Or get a free estimate today. That's telling them exactly what you want them to do. And that's what they're looking for. So they go ahead and click and they go ahead and call. If you have a special offer for the service that they searched and reference it in the ad, that's all the better. You know, if you can fit it in there, sometimes it's kind of like a word puzzle when you're trying to fill out these Google ads because there's only so much room and so many characters you can put in there. So trying to kind of fit everything in there perfectly can be challenging, but you know, you want to get as many of those call to action key phrases in there that you can. Give them one decision, you know, call or fill out this web form and push for it. You know, don't offer them too many options to stray off of your website. You don't want them leaving your website. So here's kind of a list of, you know, your best performing text ads for certain different ad groups. And I'll show you kind of right here. So this is the one for tree service. So somebody types in tree service near me. We've got an ad that says #1 rated tree service. Call for a free quote today. Local tree professionals. We're an affordable tree service company. Don't wait to take dangerous trees down. This is for tree trimming. So tree trimming service, call for a free quote today. Affordable local tree trimming company, any job, anytime, call for a quote today. Licensed and insured. These are all of our call out extensions right here to make the ad a little bit bigger so that you know, convert more of these people that are doing the search. And then this is another one. I think we showed this one a minute ago for DeLand, Florida. #1 tree removal DeLand. So if somebody types in tree removal DeLand, Florida, our ad pops up, #1 tree removal DeLand. So you can see that solves it's a solution to what they searched for right away. It's exactly what they typed in, tree removal DeLand. So we do this as many times as we can, and there's a lot of different variations of that too. So some people type in getting a tree removed, tree removal pricing, different things like that. So we'll have different ad copy for those specific searches, but it just helps. It just helps scoop up more of those people that are looking to get help with their tree work right now. And this is right here, #1 local tree service serving all of XYZ county, so that way they know that, this company services everywhere. And make your text ad jump off the page with ad extensions. So this is what we're going to get into. Here's an ad extension. It's your URL extension here. So you can actually put the keyword again in the extension that makes your domain look longer. So when you're in there, you can put an extension on there. So if you're doing tree trimming or something like that, see how the extension says tree trimming? So FloridaTreeSurgeons.com/tree trimming, and then Volusia. That's the counties they service. And then there's also a map extension, so where they know exactly where this company is located. Now, sometimes you don't want that if you're advertising a long way away, because then the company sees your address and they go, well, you may be a little bit too far away to service my location. I don't know if I really want to call this company. So sometimes it's good to have this and sometimes it's not. But overall, the experience has been pretty positive with the map extension there. But right here, you got same-day estimates, tree removal and trimming. So same-day estimates, that's another very enticing thing to click on. So there's a lot of people, when they do this Google search, guys, they're looking to get somebody out literally like that day or the next day. I mean, you can schedule with them a few days later, but just getting your sales guy out there, or the owner, if you're doing the sales, and the estimates, getting out there that same day kind of just locks them into you and kind of builds that rapport. And as long as your pricing is competitive, you'll get that work. Make your ad pop with call extensions. So here's the call extension. So if somebody's on a mobile device, which from our data is about 70 to 80% of all searches right now for tree service, is on a mobile device. So what you want to do is you want to have this call extension right here that shows up right there in the search feed. So when they do a search for tree trimming Deltona, you can see, get a free estimate today, you can see there's this phone number extension, call extension. All they have to do is tap that with their thumb. They don't even have to click on the link to go to your web page. All they have to do is click this with their thumb, and they're on a live call to your office right then. So they really help. So please don't sleep on that. I mean, mobile optimization for ads is big right now. And call out extensions. So right here at the bottom, you have a place where you can put in some different like sales points about your business. A lot of the ones we use are licensed and insured, special offers available, free estimates, on time, clean crews, social distancing. There's a lot of buzzwords you can use in that call out extension area. You can put a list of like 6 or 8 in there, and then they rotate them with your ad, depending on how much room there is, where your ad position, ends up at. And so all these really help just get more conversions, helps more people find you, more people call you, and all in all, just get better results from your campaign. But here's another example of a actual landing page. This is Aardvark Tree Service. So you can see right here, you've got your BBB plugin, we've got Home Advisor, Elite Service Business, and different things like that make people go, wow, this must be a good company. They've got some awards, they've gotten some awards. And then you got call down for a free estimate, which is a click the call button there. You've got the request a free estimate web form at the very top. That's the first thing you see when you click on this web page. And then you've got why choose us, basically. Tree care, family owned and operated. That's another call out extension. Family owned and operated, experienced crews. You could put 20 years in business, 30 years in business, however long you've been in business. That's another big one. And we're the right ones for the job. So just going back to the case study again, to kind of show you how powerful it is for these paid ads, you've got, the number of leads for this particular campaign was 47. The conversion rate was a third, so 33%. 47 leads times 33% was 16 booked jobs, paying jobs. The average ticket was $750. And again, that's a big mixed bag of tree removal, tree pruning, stump grinding probably, tree trimming, tree cutting, probably hauling some stuff, different things like that. So it ended up being $12,000 in revenue just from this campaign. And so if you've got the crews and you have the personnel, you can easily double this, if you're in a large metro area. So you take that and say, okay, I'm doing $25,000 in revenue per month just for my Google Ads campaign. I'm only spending $4,000. If it continues to convert like that. And with good management of your paid ad campaign, it will. And seasonality can make a difference between the search volume a little bit, in the wintertime versus the summer or spring and fall. But if you spend the money, and you get the calls, you're going to book the estimates, book the appointments, you're going to get your share of the jobs as long as you guys are professional and you give them that estimate and you're competitively priced. So really, really good return on investment. So if you already have, let's say, a PPC provider today, let me look and see if we've actually got any questions on the chat here. Not yet. So we'll see if there's any more questions coming in after this, but questions to ask your current PPC provider if you have one. How much of my budget will go to Google Ads versus the management fees? That's what I was telling you before, the $500 incremental charges, those are the ones from your Google Ads. And you could ask them, what type of tracking will you be putting in place? Do you do AdWords, call, and web form conversion tracking? Make sure you know like how many leads is produced, how many calls it produced. If you don't have web and call conversion tracking that pulls into AdWords, you'll be at a major disadvantage versus the competition. Will you separate PPC calls from the organic calls? Because I want to know, if I'm spending the money over here on paid ads, how many calls I'm going to get versus how many people just came to my website and found me there. How will we track our key performance indicators? Like, you're going to get, reporting, you're going to know how much you spent overall for the month. Another key metric is average cost per lead. So can they nail down your average cost per lead? Will you be setting up specific landing pages for each ad groups, or will the traffic be directed to the home page of my website? That's big. That's big. Because if you go back to our numbers and our findings, the landing page converts 3 to 1 over the website. So you want to make sure there's a dedicated landing page just for the paid ad clicks. If you're driving traffic to landing pages, how will those pages be optimized for conversion? Is the click the call button all over those web pages? Is the free estimate forms there? If so, it's going to convert way, way, way better. Do you split test ads for each ad group? So you don't just set it up and then just let it run forever, right? You actually test some stuff and make sure the ad copy is converting. Because if not, over time, they will become stale and you got to redo them. Will you be leveraging all of the ad extensions to make my ads stand out in the search results? And what are our targets in terms of cost per lead and return on investment? So these are questions to ask your current PPC provider or somebody you're talking to already if they're about to run some ads for you. And so what makes our campaigns better and different is kind of the same stuff we just said to ask your PPC provider. Is we split the campaign into strategic ad groups, tree trimming, tree removal, tree service, on our experience in the tree service business to help target your most profitable services. We set up conversion optimized landing pages. We set up true conversion optimization so that your conversions, calls, and web form submissions are tracked and associated with the campaign and the keywords in AdWords so that we can adjust the bid, the spend strategy based on the campaigns and the keywords that drive the best conversions. So when we find out what works, you can increase there, and you find out the duds, then you either turn off those particular ads and then create new ones, or you just reduce the budget on those. So you'll know exactly how many calls come in via PPC versus organic, which is your website and which is your Google Map listing. And you'll get a call recording of every one of the PPC calls. So you know for sure it came from that PPC campaign. This makes it possible for us to optimize based on the keywords that result in the calls and stop wasting money on terms that don't get a good result for you. Each ad group, we set up multiple text ads and we just test them, and rotate them based on the best converting ads each month. So our click-through rates, quality scores continue to improve month after month, which decreases your per click cost and ultimately your per lead cost. So if you manage it effectively, each month your campaign is going to get more and more and more dialed in because you're eliminating those negative keywords you don't want every week. You're eliminating the ads that are not converting every week, every month. So there's different things we do daily versus weekly versus monthly. But over time, it just gets more and more and more efficient. So here's one of our clients in Jackson, Mississippi. They're doing about 185 estimates per month from our services. And this is a combination of their website, their search engine optimization. We have city pages on their website for about 12 local suburbs. So they're ranking in all those 12 local suburbs. Plus we're doing pay-per-click marketing and retargeting, but they're doing a roughly 185 estimates per month right now. He says, David Baroni with Baroni's Tree Pros says, we're very thankful for Tree Service Digital. Wesley Smith and his staff have always provided high quality customer service, and Tree Service Digital has brought Baroni's Tree Pros many customers. Their service has helped us to receive large amount of calls every day or even booking 2 months out at the moment. We're currently ranked #1 on Google in the areas that we cover, thanks to Tree Service Digital. Their campaigns have been successful in helping us to reach out to many customers, and a large percentage of our customers that contact us through our ads and clicks created by Tree Service Digital end up booking with us, and they get the paid job. So Tree Service Digital is an excellent business, and we highly recommend using their services. So I appreciate that, David, if you're watching today. And that's right on our Tree Service Digital Facebook page if you want to take a look at that. So if you guys have a current pay-per-click plan or a pay-per-click campaign running right now, we'll go over it for you for free if you'd like. I mean, if you have a campaign going and you're like, man, you know, it used to work real well, but it's not working really good right now, we can take a look at it for you. We do this every single day, so we can spot, you know, inefficiencies pretty quick in anybody's campaign in Tree Service. So if you want us to look at that, you know, call me after this webinar, 770-637-3707, and we'll schedule a time that works for you in your office. And we'll go over kind of what that looks like and how we can help you improve it, or just give you recommendations on how to improve it. Or you can just go to treeservicedigital.com/schedule, and you can book an appointment there. Really easy. We use Calendly, so it's a calendar booking thing. You can just book a quick meeting on there. But we'll go over your analysis of your online visibility, and we'll come up with a custom keyword list of the most important search terms. But more importantly, we're just going to look at it, and usually within 5 minutes, we can kind of tell what's going wrong or what's going right in your campaign. So we'll be happy to do that for you, and just take a look at that. Make sure you're on the right track with your Google Ads. Do you have any questions? If you do, it's anonymous. You can pop them in the chat box here. Let's see. Yes, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat box. And then let me see if I can pull up the other piece here. But basically, this PPC campaign is very, very important. So don't sleep on getting a good pay-per-click campaign going in your market. You know, if you really need more calls coming in because you've got, let's say, 2 crews or 3 crews, and you've got a sales guy or 2, maybe you're, as the owner, still doing the estimates and appointments, that's fine. But to keep everybody busy, this is one of the best ways to do it, because you can start getting calls coming in literally like in a couple of days. So as soon as you set this up, now you got to build out the web page, build out the conversion stuff, which, I mean, we do all of that. But if you're going to do it yourself, you could literally be up and running in a few days and start getting calls coming in, right? So, but number 2 on that list of importance for digital dominance is going to be the pay-per-click marketing. And so it's just really important. It makes you highly visible in your market. And furthermore, you're going to get a lot more of that emergency work, you know, because if you're way at the top of the page, when somebody types in like tree removal service near me or emergency tree service, they type something like that in, and your ad's sitting there right at the top of the page, staring them right in the face, they're going to click on it. They're going to call you. You know, maybe they've got a tree that, you know, God forbid, fell in their house, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it fell out on the road in front of their house. They can't get around it, or they just got a big tree down. It fell on the fence or wherever in their yard, and they just need to get it done like right away. And it could be an insurance claim too, where you can help them with the insurance claim and get that work. But be at the top of the page. Google pay-per-click ads really helps you accomplish that. So again, if you want a free online marketing plan review, happy to do that for you, and just kind of dig into your local market. I'll roll up my sleeves and do a lot of keyword research before the meeting. And we'll look up your company, kind of how you're looking online, custom keyword list of your local market. So if you're in Dallas, that's going to be different than if you're in Philadelphia or Los Angeles. We'll do all that for you. A ranking report to show where you rank currently for the most important and valuable keywords. We'll look at your online directory listings and see how consistently accurate your name, address, and phone number are in all these online directories that are crucial for your SEO. We'll do an analysis of your online reviews and reputation. That's very important too, because that's going to get you a lot more calls if you have a lot of 5-star reviews. We'll look at your social presence and an analysis of your website conversion effectiveness. And if you have like all the click to call buttons, free estimate contact forms, all that stuff on your page, we'll let you know, hey, you're doing this right. It looks really good. Or we'll say we recommend doing this so that you get more leads with the same amount of traffic that you're already getting. So you can give me a call anytime at 770-637-3707, or you can actually book on the calendar that works for you for early next week if you want to. at treeservicedigital.com/schedule. And I'll be happy to go over your particular market and your web presence at that point. So I'll check again for any questions here. Anybody has any? Well, no, it looks like we're all out of questions today. So if you do have any questions, you can just shoot me an email. You probably got the webinar invites. So you can shoot me an email there, or again, just give me a call at the number there. And we'll be happy to go over your particular plan and get you guys up and running on Google Ads. All right, well, everybody have a great weekend. And if we can help you in any way, just let us know. All right, thank you so much.